Life isn't always smooth sailing. Sometimes things don't go as planned and challenges start piling up. But have you ever wondered what really separates those who keep going from those who give up? There's something that keeps them going no matter how tough things get. In this video, we'll be diving into what you really need to overcome life's challenges. Life is full of ups and downs, highs and lows, and unforeseen challenges. But what really helps people get through the toughest moments isn't just luck, it's resilience and grit. Sounds pretty simple, but it's true. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after life knocks you down. Grit, on the other hand, is that unshakable determination that keeps you moving forward no matter how many roadblocks get in the way. Master these two, and you've got an unstoppable combination for facing life's challenges. Let's be real, you can't get through life without hard times. Whether it's a rough patch at work, financial struggles, health issues, or personal heartbreak, everyone faces setbacks. But the real difference between those who rise above and those who stay stuck is all about mindset. Resilient people don't see failure as the last stop, they see it as a plot twist. They learn from their struggles, adjust their approach, and come back stronger. While resilience is about bouncing back when things go wrong, grit's the real game changer. It's the stubborn determination to keep you going even when progress is slow, the odds are stacked against you, and quitting feels like the easier option. Endurance is the key to moving ahead, even when progress feels really slow. It's about showing up, putting in the work, and refusing to give up because every step forward, no matter how small, brings them closer to success. Resilience and grit go hand in hand, but their relationship isn't always clear-cut, and it all depends on the situation. In some cases, grit actually improves resilience. It's like Olympic athletes training for years to reach their peak. Their relentless dedication and grit help them push through exhaustion, setbacks, and failures. As long as they don't push themselves to the point of burnout and injury, their resilience builds into strength and helps them achieve greatness. But here's where things get a bit tricky. Resilience isn't just about sticking with something no matter what. Sometimes being resilient means knowing when to switch things. If a goal becomes impossible, whether due to circumstances, changing priorities, or sheer impracticality, resilience is about adapting, not just persisting at all costs. This is where grit can become a problem. If someone stubbornly refuses to let go of an unattainable goal, they risk wasting time, energy, and even resources. So, while grit can be a useful tool, resilience is also about knowing when to double down and when to pivot. History is filled with stories of people who refuse to back down in the face of adversity, proving that resilience and grit can change lives. J.K. Rowling is a perfect example. Before becoming one of the best-selling authors in the world, she faced more problems than most people could handle. As a single mother struggling to make ends meet, she relied on government aid while chasing her dreams of becoming a published author. But the publishing world wasn't exactly making things easy on her. She sent out her manuscript for Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and got rejected. Not once, not twice, but 12 times. That's 12 publishers telling her it wasn't good enough. 12 opportunities to give up. But quitting? That wasn't in her manual. She kept going, believing in her story even when nobody else did. Finally, a small publishing house, Bloomsbury, took a chance on her book. Even then, they weren't too sure it would amount to much and advised her to find a stable job. But once Harry Potter landed in stores, it became a worldwide phenomenon, selling over 500 million copies and turning Rowling into one of the most influential writers in history. Her journey is proof that rejection isn't a dead end. It's just a detour on the road to something extraordinary. J.K. Rowling's journey from a struggling writer to a global phenomenon is one of resilience and grit. Despite major bumps in the road, she refused to give up on her story, a decision that changed not just her life, but the landscape of modern literature forever. Oprah Winfrey is another great example of someone who had grit and resilience. It's almost impossible to imagine now, but there was a time when people thought she wasn't fit for television. Early in Oprah's career, she got a job as a news anchor, but her emotional and sympathetic style didn't match the traditional approach to reporting. The result? She was fired, a devastating blow for any aspiring journalist, especially a young woman trying to make her mark in broadcasting. But Oprah didn't let one rejection set her back. Instead of quitting, she found her true calling in talk shows, where her warmth and ability to connect with people became her greatest strength. Before long, The Oprah Winfrey Show was born. What started as a small local program quickly became a pop culture icon, taking over daytime television for 25 years. But that wasn't all. Her influence went way beyond TV. She built a media empire, launched a magazine, and even created her own network, proving that success isn't about avoiding failure, it's about refusing to let it stop you. Through resilience, authenticity, and an unwavering belief in herself, Oprah Winfrey became one of the most powerful women in media. We can't talk about resilience and grit without mentioning Michael Jordan. Imagine being told you weren't good enough for something you were passionate about. Well, that's exactly what happened to Jordan when he was dropped from his high school basketball team. As a sophomore, the decision was a brutal hit to his confidence. For a lot of people, that kind of rejection would be the end of the story. But for Jordan, it was just the start. Instead of giving up, he let that disappointment become his driving force. Determined to prove himself, he trained harder than ever, spending hours in the gym, perfecting his shots, and honing his skills. The result? He made the team the next year, and from that moment on, there was no stopping him. His talent and relentless work ethic made him excel in college basketball at the University of North Carolina, and later take over the NBA. With 6 championships, 5 MVP awards, and a legacy as one of the greatest athletes of all time, Jordan's journey is living proof that setbacks don't define success. Resilience and grit do. Let's not forget Steve Jobs, whose story is a reminder that even the most brilliant minds face setbacks. You might not believe it, but the man who built Apple into a tech empire was once fired from the very company he co-founded. In 1985, after a power struggle with Apple's board, Jobs was forced out, a blow that could have ended his career. But Jobs was determined, and he founded Next, a computer company focused on advanced technology, and played an important role in developing Pixar into an animation powerhouse. His work at Pixar led to groundbreaking films like Toy Story, while Next's innovations would later become the foundation for Apple's future success. Ironically, Apple struggled without him, and in a dramatic turn of events, they brought him back in 1997. This time, Jobs didn't just return, he revolutionized the tech world. Under his leadership, Apple launched game-changing products like the iMac, iPod, iPhone, and MacBook, turning the company into one of the most valuable in history. Let's get into one more example of someone who didn't allow challenges to define him. We're talking about Walt Disney. Sometimes, even the most creative minds face rejection, and Walt Disney is no exception. Long before Disney became what it is today, its founder was struggling to catch a break. Early in his career, he landed a job at a newspaper, but it didn't last long. His editor actually fired him, saying he lacked creativity. Imagine being told that when you're destined to create some of the most iconic characters in history. As if that weren't discouraging enough, his first animation company went bankrupt, leaving him nearly broke. For many people, those failures would have been enough to quit. But not Walt. He kept going, and that determination paid off when he introduced Mickey Mouse to the world. A character who wasn't just entertaining, but completely changed the future of animation. From there, he built Disneyland, the first ever theme park of its kind, and laid the foundation for what would become one of the most powerful entertainment empires in history. If there's one thing these icons teach us, it's that setbacks aren't the end of the road. They're just plot twists in a much bigger story. Each of them had moments where quitting would have been the easiest option. Rejections, failures, even being told they weren't good enough. It would have been understandable if they'd walked away. But they didn't. Instead, they used their failures as fuel, turning problems into stepping stones for something even greater. We've got to be honest. Building resilience and grit isn't something that magically happens overnight. It's a process, a mindset, and a daily commitment. It takes a lot of practice, self-awareness, and courage to leave your comfort zone. However, the good news is that anyone can develop it. Surrounding yourself with a strong support system, keeping a positive outlook, and treating challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles all play a huge part. Even the seemingly small things like setting realistic goals, staying consistent, and celebrating small wins can build the kind of mental strength that leads to long-term success. At the end of the day, life struggles can either break you or make you stronger. The difference lies in how you respond. With resilience and grit, setbacks become stepping stones, not stop signs. Those who refuse to quit, who keep pushing forward even when the odds are against them, are the ones who ultimately gain success and fulfillment. So the next time life throws a curveball at you, remember, this moment isn't your final chapter. It could be the setup for your biggest comeback yet. Keep going, keep pushing, and who knows? Your own success story might just be waiting on the other side. Which of these stories inspired you the most? Let us know in the comments.